The cabin was chaos. Alarms screamed. Oxygen masks dropped like white ghosts. Somewhere behind the curtain, a passenger shouted, "We're going down!" But in the cockpit, her hands didn't tremble. Her name was Captain Amara Daniels, the only black female pilot in that airline's history. And now, 35,000 feet above the Atlantic, one engine had just exploded. A deep, booming voice crackled through the radio. "Mayday! Mayday! This is Flight 476. Engine 1 is gone!" But Amara's voice cut through the panic like steel wrapped in calm. "This is Captain Daniels. We're not crashing today." She didn't know it yet, but what she did in the next 10 minutes would make headlines around the world and silence every person who ever told her she didn't belong in a cockpit. Because sometimes, it takes disaster to reveal who's really in control. Before we dive into this story of prejudice, courage, and redemption, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Black Chronicles channel, and hit the notification bell. Because what happens next will remind you why you should never underestimate the underdog. Stay till the end. You won't believe how this flight ends. 2 days earlier, Amara adjusted her tie in the crew lounge mirror. Her uniform crisp, her posture perfect. Behind her, laughter floated through the air. "Guess management's ticking the diversity box again," a male co-pilot whispered. "Next thing you know, they'll have her flying Air Force One." Their laughter was sharp, mocking, not playful. Amara turned, smiled faintly, and said nothing. She had heard worse. Every academy, every interview, every hangar whispered the same thing. She's only here because she's black, or because she's a woman, or both. But they didn't know. Amara had graduated top of her class, flown rescue missions in war zones, and logged more flight hours than most men, mocking her. Still, bias didn't care about facts. It hid behind smirks, sarcasm, and just jokes. And Amara learned long ago, silence can be louder than anger. That day's flight was supposed to be routine, New York to Paris. But the man assigned as her co-pilot, Captain Bryce Hamilton, didn't like surprises, especially not being outranked by a black woman. "You sure you're ready for this one, Captain?" he said with a smirk. "Paris isn't the same as your simulator." "Neither is life, Captain Hamilton," she replied. "But we adapt, don't we?" The plane lifted. Clouds swallowed the horizon. Little did they know, by the time they landed, one of them would be a hero, and the other, a headline. 6 hours into the flight, turbulence hit. Lightning flashed through the windows. Amara's calm voice filled the cabin. "Seatbelts on. It'll pass soon," but Hamilton wasn't calm. "We should divert. This is suicide." "We're clear to continue," she replied. He scoffed. "Typical. Always gotta prove something." That sentence lingered like smoke. Then it happened. A violent jolt, a deafening bang. Smoke burst from the left engine. The aircraft lurched hard right. Screams filled the cabin. "We're losing engine 1! We're going down! Mayday!" Hamilton shouted. "Not yet," she snapped. "Shut up and follow my lead." One engine gone meant half the power, but double the precision. Amara rerouted hydraulics, stabilized the descent, and took full control. Passengers prayed. A baby screamed. The sky had turned against her. But it wasn't the storm outside that tested her. It was the storm sitting beside her. Fuel dropped fast. "We'll glide her down to Heathrow," she said. "Manual landing." "Manual? With one engine? That's insane." "No," she said. "It's leadership." Sometimes the difference between fear and faith is one person who refuses to blink. Fuel pressure failed. Hydraulics died. "The landing gear's jammed," Hamilton shouted. "Then we'll land without it." "That's suicide." "No," Amara whispered. "It's history." The runway lights glowed below. She aligned the crippled jet, 246 souls in her hands. "Brace for impact." Metal screamed. Sparks flew. The jet skidded, then stopped. Silence. Then applause erupted. She'd done the impossible. How did you do that?" Hamilton gasped. "By staying calm in storms other people created," she replied. The woman they mocked had just rewritten the manual on survival. The news called her the miracle pilot. But in the boardrooms of Falcon Air, miracles didn't impress everyone. 3 days later, Amara was summoned, not for congratulations, but for questioning. 4 executives, 1 glass room. Mr. Blake, the director of safety, leaned forward. "Captain Daniels, there are irregularities in your report." "Irregularities?" she repeated. "Yes. You disobeyed co-pilot consensus, ignored weather protocols. Amara kept her gaze steady. I ignored fear. That's what I ignored. When prejudice loses power, it hides behind policy." Just as they prepared to suspend her, a knock echoed. Captain Hamilton walked in. "Before you continue," he said, "you should hear this." He played a recording, her calm orders during the chaos, his own panicked voice. When it ended, silence filled the room. "She saved us all," he said softly. I froze. She didn't. Then Amara slid her own file forward. "You want irregularities? Here's one. I wrote the manual for emergency single-engine landings in the Air Force 5 years ago." The room went cold. "You ignored that when I applied to lead safety training," she added. "Maybe because of my name." The same system that doubted her expertise had been built on her brilliance. Emails surfaced, internal messages saying, "She's not a great face for the brand." Public outrage exploded. A week later, Amara stood at a press conference. "I was told to be grateful for being here, but I didn't come to fill a quota. I came to fly, and to prove that excellence has no color." Applause roared like engines. When the storm cleared, she hadn't just landed a plane, she'd landed justice. Amara was promoted to head of safety and flight training. Her first move, creating scholarships for young women of color in aviation. Even Hamilton joined the initiative. "She didn't just save my life," he said. "She saved my perspective." Some victories are loud. Others echo in silence, changing systems one policy at a time. In the end, the sky didn't change. The world beneath it did. Because one woman refused to let fear fly her plane. Because one black woman proved that courage has altitude. So remember this. You don't need to shout to be heard. You just need to fly higher than their expectations. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Black Chronicles channel, and hit the notification bell. Because every week we tell stories of strength, injustice, and redemption that the world needs to hear.